Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I was talking to a group of women artists a few days back. I want to call them young women artists because they are. They're younger than me, but they are brilliant in their own right. And a memory came back, and it's a memory every time it comes up. I get a little bit upset with myself. It's not really a resentment, but it's the beginning of one. And the memory is, it was in the early 90s, very early 90s, when all of my money belonged to me and not my children. If you're a parent, you understand that. And I lived in a big loft well, it wasn't a loft, it was a 2-story townhouse in downtown Chicago. And really high walls, high ceilings. Um, and I had space for wonderful art, which was one of the reasons why I picked this place. And I was just beginning to start television shows, so there was a feature on the apartments of Chicago's talk show hosts, and there were about 4 of us at the time. And so there was a picture of one room of my house, and everybody was like, "Whoa, what does she do?" And it was before the show was even up, but I had already lived there, and so it was this beautiful space, and all the furniture was white, and except with the exception of one red chair and a black grand piano that I couldn't play. Anyway, I a woman from a wonderful gallery, a really amazing collector, came, asked if she could come over. She wanted to show me something. She comes, and her assistant was with her because this piece was so large. She needed someone to help her. And it was rolled up. It hadn't been framed yet. And she opened it up, and I can still feel the excitement that I felt when I first saw it. And it was an original piece by Romare Bearden. And it was affordable to me. And it was amazing. And whenever I think back on it, my heart, I'm like, I want to kick myself because, of course, now it's worth millions. And I didn't get it. And it wasn't about the money, and it wasn't because I didn't love it. And sometimes I forget the deep-seated why when I first look back on it. Whenever I see a piece of his work, whenever I see someone, doing a presentation or talking about Bearden, I get a little bit a little bit mad at myself. And then I remember my why. I had decided, my sister Myrna was an artist, and she was also a photographer, and she was able to make a living as a photographer, but not as an artist. She was a wonderful artist. And my sister had just recently passed away. And I had decided that I would only buy art from living artists, that I would support artists while they were making their art. I wouldn't be a part of the thing where you wait until somebody's gone to increase the value of your work. Now, I love collectors who collect everybody and everything and increase the value, especially of Black art. I love it. I love people who are collecting the art of women. I love that. But I had decided that to keep my sister alive, I would keep the living artist alive. Sometimes one purchase that's not even that big of a deal can support them to their next painting because they're going to create, because that's what they do. It's in them to do it. They can't not create. And yet, we don't lift it up. I think it was Du Bois who wrote a piece called Art for Nothing, where we think that artists are given some kind of a talent, and because they're given this talent, they should give us their art. There may be a gift within them, but it has to be honed and crafted and studied and developed and done again, and there's materials involved and space and all of these things that we don't consider. We look quickly and keep walking, never stopping to stare and take it in. And there's a life attached to that beauty. There's a suffering attached to that beauty. There's a sacrifice attached to that beauty. It's not just beauty. It's the keepers of our culture. So whenever that feeling of, oh boy, how did I pass that up, comes to me, I remember my why. And I see my sister Myrna. And she's painting. I love you.